And he has advised Ghana not to emulate the bloody youth demonstration in Kenya that claimed many lives. According to Dr. Palgrave Boachidankwa, the youth in Kenya could use a democratic way of registering their displeasure about the government. Is that not what the youth in Ghana is doing? Using the democratic way? And who made it bloody to start with?
The security services will start shooting, and the citizens are supposed to be quiet and run. You see, the Kenya issues, and I've been surprised at how we seem to want to put a certain idea in the minds of the ordinary Ghanaian. Do not demonstrate, do not do this, do not do that. But we are forgetting that whatever indicators that are in Kenya, that they are on the streets demonstrating, we have passed that line. Mm-hmm. Even to the extent that they were complaining about new taxes on bread, mm-hmm. but we are having our menstruations taxed in this country. Mm-mm. And we are not even on the street.
That's very sensitive.
That is it. Yeah. As a woman, I'm very passionate about these things. And some months ago, some stories from mining community says that young girls are getting pregnant at JSS. The reason being that they cannot afford 20 Ghana cedis pad. And the people who they go to would want to have something to do with them before they give. Our menstruations are being taxed in this country. Sanitation levy, E-Levy, birth levy, COVID-19 levy, emission levy. How many taxes have we not introduced from 2021 to 2023? Aside the introduction of new ones, even the existing ones, some have seen a rise in the quota we are actually taking. That notwithstanding, the ordinary Ghanaian in the minds of the NPP and the ruling government is that they are quiet because Ghanaians are timid. Annie, Ghanaians are not timid. But what is the stark reality is that behind that quietness of Ghanaians is the people who are desperate for economic freedom. So at the end of the day, we go on the streets to demonstrate. They spray us hot water. They give us tear gas. They give us pepper spray. If you are the ordinary Ghanaian, you will lose hope. So the first point of call is hopelessness. The ordinary Ghanaian has lost every sense of hope in this country called Ghana. You go to Kotoka Airport in the evenings and the place is packed. Mm-hmm. Delta Airline is always full. All other airlines leaving the shores of Ghana, they are always fully booked. You go there and it's as if that place is Makola and next in the evenings. The ordinary Ghanaian is not timid. The second point of call is that when you demonstrate and talk and talk and talk and nothing is being done, will you not eat? So they are economically fatigued. Right. At the end of the day, I'm not employed. I don't have money to eat. So on an empty stomach, I should go on the street and talk. Right. They don't even have the strength because these governments have made the ordinary Ghanaian economically fatigued. Right. So moving forward, if the MPP think that Ghanaians are timid, we will not use the violent approach because we are already in the abyss. We will not fall or sink deeper. Kenyan youth didn't use the violent approach. According to Palgrave, he says that we shouldn't use the violent approach. So I am telling him as a Ghanaian youth that we will not use the violent approach, right. But we will continue to register our displeasure. But what it is that they should mark it. Right. That behind our calmness, on 7th December, we will vote for accountability. On 7th December, we will vote as a woman for my menstruation that is being taxed. On 7th December, I will vote for the case who stay home for 3 months without access to a teacher. Right. On 7th December, we will vote for the second freedom of Ghana. All right.
Annie. Talking about parts, I mean, this was a conversation we've had over the years. And if you remember, I don't know if Louisa is not aware, locally produced parts are tax-free. This was in the 2024 budget, so let's have that in perspective. I mean, the call by my brother, I think, is not far-fetched. I mean, we've seen demonstrations in this country that people have lost their eyes and subsequently died. You remember the Let My Vote Count this demonstration. But you see, the call for us to be citizens.
Let my vote count.
Yes.
Did people die?
A guy lost his eye. People were whipped with horse tails and all that. But
nobody died from that.
Yes. The guy subsequently died. Nobody encourages violence. Violence has never solved the problem. Violence can never solve any problem. You talk, you express your interest. And for a president that has called citizens to be citizens, not spectators, I think that if my memory serves me right, most of the demonstrations within this regime have been generally peaceful. There have been disagreements back and forth, court orders from police taking stop orders and other things together, but they've been generally peaceful. Looking at what happened in Kenya, what did they start with? They started with social media and all those things, registering their protest. They got a lot of support from some MPs in Parliament who were in support of them. I remember listening to one who even said it was wrong for them to even tax digital content and all that. All those issues, it still comes back to people who are entrusted to work, engaging, identifying their stakeholders properly and engaging them. Continuous engagement is one of these things, one of the things that can solve these things. People have become self-aware. People have become because of availability of news. And also,
do you remember the condition for E-Levy?
Condition for what?
If we pass E-Levy, we won't go to IMF.
Come again. But was E-Levy successful? It wasn't.
Now we've gone to IMF, we still have E-Levy.
E-Levy wasn't successful. Was it?
So why not scrape it?
Was it successful? But where we are now, Annie, look.
The E-Levy that we cut the cake for.
You who cut the cake for E-Levy?
You didn't see the E-Levy cake?
Did you see any, when it was passed in Parliament after all that happened?
You didn't see
Did you see anybody cutting cake?
You didn't see the cake?
Did you see anybody cutting cake for E-Levy?
Yes, there was a whole party.
Who had a party for E-Levy? There was a birthday party, and someone presented a cake to the majority leader.
An E-Levy cake.
E-Levy. Was it a celebration of E-Levy by all of us?
The cake.
Is that how you put it? That someone is having his birthday as majority leader, someone presents him a cake.
So
they
if
cut it, and it's a celebration of all of us of E-Levy.
If the majority leader,
give me time. Let's discuss this.
If the majority leader was unhappy about the cake, knowing that Annie here, I'm going to pay this kind of taxes, and someone brought me a cake of this nature, I won't even bring it out to public, because this is ridicule for the poor taxpayer.
Yes, for the poor taxpayer, but don't say that we cut a cake and they celebrated E-Levy.
But that's what happened.
Was I there?
Were you not supposed to be there?
Did we celebrate it? It was the majority leader's birthday. Someone gave him a cake. Don't just come out and say that we celebrated E-Levy. Okay. But let's talk about E-Levy.
My time is up.
No, your time can be up. You raised it. Let's finish it. You raised E-Levy. Right. When was E-Levy? What was the main source of revenue for us in that particular budget? It was E-Levy. When was it passed? 6 months down the line, when we had implemented that budget. What did we make? We projected some 5-point-something billion. How much did we make? We made some 400 million. Obviously. I agree with you in principle that if we said that, and now we've gone to IMF, we should do away with it. But don't also forget that due to that delay and all that, and all the challenges we had, we also need to be careful of the revenue streams we're getting rid of.
Okay.
Just recently, I even read a report from ISA on how, and they even recommended that those scrappages reduce the thing. And in principle, most of the members of parliament were not against the E-Levy. It was the percentage that they were against.
Okay.
So if you say that because you've said that and all that, I mean, in principle, that is something that must be, but you also need to look at your revenue. All the challenges we are having, you look at your revenue, but gradually, we are getting there. It's not as smooth as but to move from a 54% inflation to 20-something, there's progress being made. It's not what we desire. It's not what we desire, but no, let's be realistic. Look, yesterday I bought fuel. I felt it.
Oh, wow.
Right. We all feel it. You get it. The challenges. Okay. But the commitment to making it better is what should give us hope. and not go for an alternative that has no hope for you, that can tell you what they would have done differently, that cannot tell you what they are bringing on board. The moment you ask them to explain any of their policies, all they hurl at you as insults. But in Dr. Bawumia, we have a leader who is focused and ready to continue, especially the industrialization drive, which will help us tone down some of these things, because we being import driven,
let me take a break.
It's one of the problems that is costing us.
Okay.